in terms of cryptocurrencies generally, I can say almost with certainty that they will come to a bad ending. Now, when it happens or how or anything else, I don't know. But I know this, if I could buy long-term puts, if I could buy a 5-year put on every one of the cryptocurrencies, I'd be glad to do it, but I would never short a dime's worth.
Have you thought about trading the futures to take a negative position on Bitcoin?
No.
You would not do that?
No. There's no reason. I get into enough trouble with things I think I know something about. Why in the world should I take a long or short position in something I don't know anything about? So,
crypto is a complete sideshow, okay? And you guys spend too much time on it, and I've made my views perfectly clear about crypto tokens are like pet rocks. And there's people hyping this stuff up. That doesn't mean blockchain is not real.
Right.
That doesn't mean smart contracts won't be real or Web 3.0. But cryptocurrencies that don't do anything, I don't understand why people spend any time. But I don't think she meant it's a Lehman moment. I think she meant it's a Lehman moment for crypto.
Yes.
But crypto is worth $1 trillion. The other thing the American public should look at when you look at crypto, if you look at all the buying and selling, so Bitcoin's worth like under $1 trillion today, and we're not even sure that's a real market, by the way. There's 20 to 30 billion of ransomware a year that we know about, 20 to 30 billion of exchange costs that we know about, lots of AML, anti-terrorism financing, tax avoidance, sex trafficking. And why we allow this stuff to take place? And I think, the regulators that beat up on banks should maybe focus a little bit more on things like crypto.
All those things were doing pretty well before crypto. But
so on September 12th, Jamie Dimon says Bitcoin is a fraud. He says he'll fire any one of his traders buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin drops 24%. When Jamie Dimon speaks, people listen. So that weekend, we found out that the largest buyer of a Bitcoin fund that's in Europe that buys physical Bitcoin, right? The largest buyer was Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan. And that's not illegal.
He says it's a fraud.
It says he'll fire anyone that buys it. Yes.
And at the same time, his company is buying it.
His company is buying it.
It's just, so unethical.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And we know the billionaires and CEOs of these big banks and big corporations would never tell you the truth. And that's the reason why you have to follow the money. And we know Warren Buffett, that was 4 years ago. If he had bet against Bitcoin, he would have lost everything that he had. And we know he's heavily invested in fintech. Also, we have Jamie Dimon. And we know he said Bitcoin was a fraud, now on pet rocks. But we know his hands are all over Ethereum and consensus. Jamie Dimon said that Bitcoin was a fraud in the public, and behind the curtain was buying the whole time. And now we go to Bill Gates. Bitcoin, cryptos, and NFTs have no value. But we know Microsoft has been investing in Bitcoin and cryptos from the beginning. And we know why. We know he's one of the leaders of those who have to get us over to the fourth industrial revolution, where the robots, algorithms, and drones take over the economy, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. And lastly, we have Kevin O'Leary. Kevin O'Leary called crypto garbage, crypto crap. And now he's one of the leading investors in crypto, also a spokesperson. So guys, like I teach you, don't follow the words that come out their mouth, follow the money. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
To asset classes where, like a farm where they have output, or a company where they make products, to have an asset class that's 100% based on sort of greater fool theory that somebody's going to pay more for it than I do, and where it has at its heart sort of this anonymity that, you avoid taxation or any sort of, government rules about kidnapping fees or things. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not involved in that. I'm not long or short any of those things.
Look, I love your optimistic view of it. You haven't changed my mind at all. It's still garbage, and I'm not going to take real money and put it into this thing. It's never going to happen. Imagine real money, taking real dollars that I'm making in cash 2.1% on and putting it into crypto crap.
Tesla could potentially make more money from its Bitcoin investment this year than profits from electric cars in all of 2020. What's your take on that? What's your Bitcoin take, and the fact that the price can just go up or down based on a simple tweet from him?
Well, look, Elon has tons of money and he's very sophisticated. So, I don't worry that, his Bitcoin will sort of randomly go up or down. I do think people get bought into these manias who may not have as much money to spare. So I'm not bullish on Bitcoin. And, my general thought would be that, if you have less money than Elon, you should probably watch out.
Why aren't you bullish on Bitcoin?
Look, there are things we invest in society that produce output. Bitcoin happens to use a lot of energy. It happens to promote anonymous transactions. They're not reversible transactions. The Gates Foundation does a lot in terms of digital currency, but those are things where you can see who's making the transaction. So digital money is a good thing. And, there's a different approach that's local currency and attributed and, deals with all the money laundering and terrorism type regulations, and yet gives you the very the convenience and the low cost of transaction. And so, our foundation is very proud that in the pandemic, a lot of the countries we funded to do this were able to get money out to their citizens very, very efficiently. So that's something that it's not got the visibility of Bitcoin, but the move towards digital money that we're very engaged in is a super positive thing that eventually will get to even the poorest countries.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort, and China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID 33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.